Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Non-profit organization Khulisa Social Solutions is urging the youth to vote. The organization has been closely engaging with young people to encourage a greater level of participation in the upcoming elections. Through ongoing dialogue circles throughout the country, Khulisa is educating the youth on the importance of voting while unpacking the social challenges and attitudes that have prevented youth from voting in previous elections. Now, for a broader discussion on this, we're joined by Khulisa Social Solutions Managing Director, Leslie Ann van Salm. Leslie Ann, good afternoon. So your NGO has been focused on encouraging democratic participation among the youth and in the main, getting them to cast their ballot on the 29th. How have you been doing this?
Well, through dialogue circles, Khulisa really provides opportunities for the youth to ventilate their opinions and for us to gather very valuable data as to where they see themselves within the context of the democracy and how they actually view the current state of the government. And by opening up honest, courageous, safe dialogues, we are able to see where the youth actually see themselves in the future of this country and really whether or not they even want to vote and see a role in the future in terms of where they stand.
Mm-hmm. And what have those dialogues revealed?
Very disappointing results. The youth of South Africa are so disillusioned. They have no faith in the government. They have no faith in the democracy. They have no faith in the leadership. So there's such apathy that prevails. There's no hope. And I think we're going to have a very, very, very low voter turnout. I think already 70% of the youth under 30 have not even registered to vote. So I don't think we're going to see many youth standing in the queues to actually tick the boxes.
Mm-hmm. But the IEC was somewhat impressed because as it stands, 48% of the 20 to 29 age group that is eligible to vote now is registered. So some would say that that is somewhat significant, that there's no longer that underrepresentation. Yes, 48% is not all that much, but nevertheless, we cannot say it's underrepresentation like what we've seen before. So are you saying there's absolutely no shift?
From what we've gathered from the dialogue circles we've conducted, it's only been in 5 provinces. I would say that 70% of those who've been actively involved have indicated that as it stands now with the leadership that is presented in terms of our future leaders of the country, we don't have much hope that the youth are actually going to be there and to show any hope or any enthusiasm in terms of the future of the country.
Leslie, there are many forms of political participation. So which one do they prefer? If it's not necessarily to go and cast their ballot, what are they looking to do?
They are looking to become active citizens. They're looking to have their voices heard. They're looking to see signs that some of the fragilities in the country are being dealt with. You know, if we look at the dysfunctionality and the ecosystems where our young children are being brought up in, they've been let down in every possible way. And genuinely, we've worked with, in the past year, over 10,000 youth looking at what would it look like if they were living their best lives. And the feedback that the children have given us, they want opportunities for education, they want recreation, they want proper education systems, they want to be supported, they want access to IT, and all this inadequacy is what is taking the youth's future away. And that's why we've got constant inequality, the crime's increasing, and the school dropout rate is increasing, and nothing's working. There's nothing that is working. We've got no evidence. And until such time as we start addressing these socioeconomic circumstances and the ecosystem problems, we are never really going to be able to generate hope for the youth in this country.
Mm-hmm. So what has been your message to this disillusioned cohort?
That is we've got to have courageous conversations. We've got to encourage and train the youth to be able to go to their local leaders and to be able to sit down and engage in trustworthy conversations, having dialogues with local leaders and start saying, what's the budget? Where's the expenditure? What happened to this budget? Why are the parks not being fixed up? Why are there no lights? Why aren't the roads being fixed? They need to understand the IDP, and they need to be able to go and challenge the leaders as to why the promises made and the budgets allocated are not being allocated appropriately. And there's just a sense as there's corruption, and there's that sense, why do we even bother? Because we know it's going to be corrupted anyway. So we've got to encourage the youth to be able to educate them on the Constitution, on their rights, and to be able to use the next 5 years to really create spaces for youth to be able to exercise their rights and take a leadership role in seeing how they can maneuver the way forward as true leaders, and hopefully in the next 5 years to be able to dream themselves. If they were the leaders in the country, what would they be doing to address the corruption, all the problems that we are facing ourselves? And that's what our next phase is, actually putting them in the roles of the government and saying, what changes are you going to put in place? What are you going to do about all these social ills? And then using that desired state to actually start helping them to understand how they can take a real role in the next 5 years in reshaping this country.
Lesley-Ann, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That was Khulisa Social Solutions Managing Director Lesley-Ann van Saun talking to us.